fans think that a lot of their favorite WWE superstars just all of a sudden one day say, hey, I want to be a WWE superstar, and they instantly becomes it. Unfortunately, it doesn't work that way. So you have a WWE training facility that many people that are handpicked and people that bust their ass to get to that point, they have to train for many years. And then you have shows like WWE NXT, and they have a development to process that they develop characters and how they want them to be on TV. And before they even get to NXT, they have to develop like this character. They have to have a certain unique style, and most importantly, they have to know how to wrestle and entertain. So by the time they get to Raw or SmackDown, they're fully developed or somewhat developed, or maybe need just a little bit more work. You see the likes of Keith Lee, how he stormed all the indies, and he was on several other wrestling platforms before he even got to NXT. Then he got to NXT and finally got a call up to WWE. Now, can you recognize the two people in this picture? On your left, you have Ricochet with Triple H. Yeah, Ricochet did have hair at one time. Wow! And then you have on your right, can you guess who that chica is? That is Sasha Banks. And she was taking pictures with Vicky Guerrero. Now, these two were destined to be in the business. They were already planning their path. They knew people that knew people. And let's take a look at some of your favorite WWE superstars and some photos, old photos that you probably wouldn't recognize who they were. Now, it's not often that the WWE superstars sign with the company without having been a fan of it as a child. So just about all of these guys were fans before they became superstars. On your left, you have Sasha Banks and her uncle Snoop Dogg. So yeah, people, seems like they are really related. This is no cap. So here's a picture with John Cena. Can you believe that? Snoop Dogg. And on the right, you have her as well with Vicky Guerrero. This is in her younger days. Now, Sasha has had a long relationship with the WWE. She's always been a fan growing up. Eddie Guerrero was her favorite and still is. Banks has revealed how she attended the WWE Raw in Minnesota in 2005, not knowing that Guerrero had passed. It was through her cousin, cousin, not uncle, but Snoop is everybody's uncle, Snoop Dogg, that she had her connection with WWE, getting backstage access. However, her professional wrestling journey would only begin in 2010. After 2 years on the independent scene, she officially signed with WWE. Now we all know her journey in WWE from the NXT days. Right now, Sasha is probably the top woman in wrestling. Let's be honest. Yeah. So she did help form the Four Horsemen in NXT. But we know her story now, but that's definitely how she got started right there. So let's take a look at another person that we probably didn't recognize in this picture. Do you guys recognize Peyton Royce right there? As you can see, there's Jeff Hardy. Yeah, Mickie James. So Peyton Royce, she grew up as well a wrestling fan. She's from Sydney, Australia. And she was inspired to become a wrestler by the late great Eddie Guerrero as well. At the age of 16, she made her debut and performed for 5 years before receiving a WWE tryout. In Australia, she signed with WWE in 2015 and has come a long way. She also held the Women's Tag Championship with Billie Kay, which they won from Sasha Banks and Bayley at WrestleMania 35. Now, Ricochet is right here in this picture. What gets me is that he had hair long AF, right? That's a trip. But Ricochet really didn't get his start right off hand. It was early 2018 when he signed with WWE. Before joining WWE, he has a decade and a half of wrestling experience. We're talking 15 years, people. So he was destined to do this. While being quite ready for the main roster, he moved up soon after and has found some success. He's still young and he has a lot more to prove. But you can see that picture right there, Ricochet with Triple H, which is the chairman, which is the man who is sleeping with the boss's wife, right? Married to the boss's wife. So, hey, You were talking to the right person. In this picture, we see Bayley with John Cena. Now, Bayley was a mega fan of several stars before she became a superstar. She was a longtime fan and started to train to become a pro wrestler as soon as she turned 18. Now, former WWE star Serena Dweeb was a mentor to Bayley in her early years, and in 2012, she had her breakthrough and signed with the company. Now, by 2015, the WWE universe began to hear rumblings of Bayley's due to her high quality matches in NXT. And as we know, she so far has since then and is now a WWE Women's Grand Slam champion. So you can see that photo of her with John Cena when she was younger. Now this picture had me laughing because I couldn't believe Kofi Kingston actually took a picture, with one half of the Rock and Roll Express. Now we all know Kofi began his training as a professional wrestler a lot later on this list, being 24 years old when his journey started. It didn't take long for him to get signed to a WWE contract though. He's currently one of the longest tenured stars on the roster. He's a Grand Slam champion. He won WrestleMania 35 and became the WWE champion. Long before then, he posed with a picture with Ricky Morton. So yeah, like I was saying, a lot of your favorite WWE stars used to be big fans of all of the legends. Like this video, leave your comments, and subscribe.